That's Sherlock 13. What do you guys think?
Fun.
It reminds me of, like, I would always do those, like, red herring things as a kid. Like, oh, Johnny and Susie are and, like, you'd, like, cross off the little boxes to try and figure out, like, who lived on what floor of the apartment building or whatever. Like a nerd. Yeah.
Eric mentioned it earlier, but it's along the lines of a Clue.
Yeah.
But so much faster.
Yeah, just a quick...
Instead of having to roll and move around a board and
and like easy explanation time. So like a good like game night if you're like having some drinks and you don't want to explain too much and you just want to like have a fun
It's a nice what do they call it? A filler game.
Yeah,
which I don't love that term.
No.
It's an easy game that you can play with literally anyone.
Yeah. I'm gonna go for it. I'm making an accusation myself. I think it's Inspector Baines. Everything.
That sucks.
Me and you.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure it's Inspector Bradstreet.
Yep.
Correct.
Since we ruled out the other two possibilities?
Well, and since I was the only one I hadn't ruled out completely.
Oh, you had already gotten it down to him.
Oh, nice.
It was between him and Sherlock Holmes, and then you said no. And well, then I know who it is.
The rules are slightly different for 2 players than they are for 3 and 4, but I don't know how they differ. But the rule book is a sheet.
It's probably just interrogations, right? Because, like, what's the point?
Oh, there are some advanced rules, too. Let's see. Advanced rules. After a few games, players may elect to use these for an increased challenge. During setup, when players first receive their cards, each player decides the order of cards in their hand from first to last. When answering for investigate or interrogate actions, players do not include their last card.
Oh, that's interesting.
That sounds like impossible to me. At the start of a player's turn, he or she sends the first card to the last position, such that the card that was second is now first. Players do this every turn, even if they're skipped after an incorrect accusation. Okay. So it's just...
Makes it take longer.
Yeah, it's just going to make it take longer because you're not getting as much information every turn.
But it does... I like that it takes longer, but I don't like that I have to ask the same person the same question twice to get
I don't
all
know
the
if
information.
I like that. The 2-player rules, you put 3 cards face down instead of 1, put them in a row in the middle, and then the middle one is the criminal. Each player gets 5 cards, and on the investigate action, you choose one of the 2 cards that isn't the criminal, and exchange it with a card from your hand, and place that card that you're exchanging it with face up. And once both of those cards are face up, then you don't get to take the investigate action.
But that way, you give information to both of you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's an interesting way
twist.
to. That's a good way to balance it.
2-player game
for 2 players.
I think I like it. It's simple. It's thinky, but it's simple and yeah, fun. I do not like playing these kinds of games on a board game table. This is a dining table.
It's not
board
great
game
for a show where we're trying to entertain people when we're silently like...
Yeah, when we're like
thinking
keeping
hard.
private notes and stuff too,
Anyone got any skulls?
But yeah, it's a cool, fun little filler, for sure. Hey, thanks for checking out BNB Tabletop, the home of the Board and Barrel. A live show every Sunday night at 5 p.m. Pacific where me and my buddies play board games. If you haven't seen it, you're missing out. We like to keep things interactive with our Buff and Nerf house rules that allow you to influence the course of the game, and virtual bingo cards that could win you a free board game of your own. So do us a favor, do yourself a favor. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and ding that notification bell. Thanks again for stopping by. We'll see you Sunday night.